Yes, people, how are we doing? I haven't done much posting in quite a while. Me and the wife had a baby. He's 7 months old now, little boy. And just been keeping my head down, really. We moved house, moved into a little village, which is nice. But I wanted to share a little bit of a story, right? This is quite a mad one. And it was touch and go at times, but I managed to fix it and figure it out with the help of a few people, some really good advice, some stuff like supplements and things that I utilised, and also a massive shout out to Clive de Cole, because he helped me massively with the Tesla machine, which I think is very helpful to what I'm about to share. So in when was it? It would have been, might have been about April, so nearly a year ago, April last year. I fell over and basically snapped my hand back. Someone fell on me actually, and so it's a lot of weight. Snapped my hand back and I broke my scaphoid. So I broke it clean in half. Like the X-ray was just, you know, there's 2 bones there now. It was really bad. So was told that it wasn't a break, and they gave me like a little hand thing, strap or whatever. And I thought, yeah, I'll probably just leave that. Just yeah, I don't need it. I'll just crack on. Really hurt, but it didn't feel like it was broke. I sort of carried on. I just didn't really lift much with it, and you know, all of this stuff. And it was really bruised, really swollen and stuff. Anyway, I went on holiday and I didn't wear the brace. Sort of just carried on with life. Come back, the day I got back, I had another X-ray. So I went and had the X-ray, and they were like, yeah, that's broke and it's bad. So I'm like, what? So what was the deal with the first X-ray then? And they basically said, with this bone in particular, and some other bones, it can take like weeks before it actually shows on the X-ray. So I was like, wow, okay. So I've got a broken scaphoid, had no idea, and I'm just cracking on with my life as normal, right? So anyway, they put me in a cast. I had the cast on. It was meant to be for like 8 or 9 weeks maybe. I took it off within a couple of weeks because it was just doing my head in, and I thought, I'll be able to fix this, don't worry about it. Like, but if I'm honest, I didn't take it as seriously as I thought. I thought, you know, mid-30s, bones are good. I've done things like reverse cavities and helped other people to do that as well. So I just thought, diet, live clean, you know, relax, don't put too much strain on it, whatever. Anyway, I went back for another X-ray, and the doctor's like, listen, that's not healing at all. And I was like, at all? Not even one bit? He said, no, not at all. We're going to book you in for I think it's an MRI. So I went and had that, because that's more accurate. We can get a, you know, digital representation of where it is right now. So did that, got called into another meeting with the doctor. And the doctor turns around and goes, listen, this is bad. It's not healing at all. I'm going to refer you to a hand specialist, right? And I'm like, shit, like, you know, what for? Like, what are we talking? And he said, surgery. He said, as it stands, you've got 2 choices. Number 1, you get surgery. And we're talking, you know, I looked into it. It was a bone scan. It was a metal rod in my hand. You know, it's really bad. And, or number 2 is you keep going as you are. It may never heal. And there's an incredibly high likelihood that you'll end up with arthritis in the next 10 years. So I'm like, 10 years. So anyway, this has sort of rocked me, right? I'm panicking. I'm thinking, shit. So anyway, I went to see the hand specialist like a week later, chatting about it. And I turned around and said, listen, right, I'm going to level with you. I didn't wear the cast for very long. I've just been cracking on as usual. I actually went to the gym a few times, you know, in the last week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it incredibly seriously now, right? I said, do you need to put a cast on again? He said, nah, don't worry about that. To be honest, he kind of agreed. A cast is like an idiot-proof, you know, thing that, I mean, does it do much? If anything, it can actually cause other problems. But anyway, we agreed we're not going to do that. I made sure that I wore the brace every single night. So I did that the whole time. So in the day, I'd have my hand out, just being cautious and stuff. at night I'd have my brace on. So I actually did that the whole time. So just to make that clear. Anyway, so that happened. He goes, look, what I'll do is I will give you a period of time to, you know, to monitor it, to do your best, to work on it, etc. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have another meeting in 3 months, see where we are, and then we're going to make a decision on what to do next. And there's a strong likelihood as it could be surgery. So I'm like, oh God. Anyway, straight away, I've emailed the legend that is Clive DeCole. He's jumped on a call with me straight away, having a chat about things, red light therapy, come to me, I've got the Tesla machine, something called Comfree, which I used every day. Anyway, so took his advice. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that he mentioned that I was doing already. Vitamin D, raw milk, been drinking raw milk for about 7-8 years or something. Diet, you know, all of these things. So I just really upped the ante, was really, really cautious, avoided sugar the best that I could. Didn't drink, no alcohol. And so what I was doing is I was putting DMSO on the part where the bone was broke, and then putting Comfree on. So I was doing that every day. I was putting Comfree on twice a day. So DMSO and Comfree in the morning, and then at night I'd do a castor oil pack with Comfree. So I put that on at night, put the strap around it, and you know, that was it. Wake up in the morning, it's sort of still a little bit wet, but kind of dried a bit. And it did wonders. Really, really good. What else did I do? So I did the Tesla machine. I did that twice. Felt good to start with, and then you know, just felt like it kind of just went back to you know, to sort of painful, sort of hurting when I lift things and stuff. Then what I did, and I personally think this is one of the biggest and most important things that I did to fix the hand. I used the red light. So I've got a far, near, and red light, like infrared light panel. So I use that every single day without fail. So we're talking 6 months of that every day. The 3 months in between consultations, I took it very, very, very seriously. So I do about half an hour a day, just literally my hand, just rotating my hand. Really cautious, lifted no weights, was really careful with the hand. Anyway, I went back 3 months later and walked in to meet the doctor. He was a younger guy, he must have been a couple of years older than me maybe. He's put his hand out to shake me, the hand that was broke. So I shook his hand and he sort of looked at me and I'm like, you right? He goes, yeah. He goes, how'd you feel? I said, okay. He goes, what do you think? And I'm like, I fucking don't know, mate. I'm waiting for you. Like, you've seen the x-ray. What do you think? Anyway, he goes, did you see how I shook your hand? I said, yeah. He goes, mate, that tells me that you're in a good position. The way that you shook my hand. I was like, okay. Anyway, showed me the x-ray. I'm not joking. 100% fixed. 100%. To the point where he was like, I actually can't believe it. Like, it looks like nothing's happened. We've had to zoom into the bone to acknowledge that there's, to be honest, it actually looked whiter than the rest of the bone. So he was like, look, you can see the line, but it's actually thicker in terms of bone density than the rest of the bone. So the only reason that you can see that you broke it is because it's actually healed so well that the bone's more dense in that specific area. So the thing is with the scaphoid is it doesn't really get blood flow. And the blood only flows into one side of the bone. So when the bone's broken in half, the top half of the bone, there's no blood flow to it whatsoever, and the bottom half, there is blood flow. So what usually happens is half of the bone just sort of floats there and ends up dying. But somehow it's connected together. I think what I did with the red light, and I was doing certain hand maneuvers, like I was getting a 2 kg weight, sort of hammering it, you know, just like this, really gently, kind of moving it like this. So doing things like that, so that's helping blood flow every day. Red light, blood flow, DMSO, blood flow, and the Comfree as well. So Comfree is also known as bone knit. So basically knitting the bone together. And I can concur that that's exactly what happened. And as I say, went there, fucking sound. I went from, so that would have been about 4 months ago, I think, that I had that meeting. Maybe about 4 months. I went from not even being able to go in a press up position to now I can do like 60 press-ups in one hit. Every day for the last, I'm going to do another video about this, but every day for the last 4 to 5 weeks maybe, I can't remember exactly, I've done 50 press-ups every day. Other things, pull-ups, you know, all of this. I couldn't even do one pull-up and I couldn't do one press-up. That's how bad it was. And now, like I say, absolutely flying. Back at the gym, lifting weights. Every now and then it hurts ever so slightly, but I think it's more the connective tissue, the tendons, you know, whatever. It's a little bit clicky when I go like this, but not bad. But basically, it was so bad that they suggested arthritis in as little as 10 years. And now doing press-ups and lifting heavy, and we moved house and I did the whole move. I'm putting things together, taking things apart, lifting heavy shit. It's absolutely sound. So fucking hell, I wanted to share that but I wanted to give it enough time so I know 100% that it's fixed and healed and stuff. But literally to the point of nearly being in tears. You know, I'm quite active, fitness is important to me, and I thought, you know what, never go gym again unless I get this fucking suicidal surgery where you're going to take a bit of a bone from my hip, bone graft and a metal rod in my hand. Fucking hell. So anyway, as soon as he said that, I took it unbelievably seriously. You could argue if I took it seriously at the beginning, maybe I wouldn't have got in this mess. But I've read and seen and spoke to the doctors and heard so many people do exactly what they suggest, and they end up in a similar position because it is such a hard bone to fix. But anyway, anyone out there who's got the same break, share this video. I'm trying to get hold of x-rays because I want to be able to prove it. I don't need to prove it. Like, at the end of the day, you know, believe me or don't, but I went from, as I say, I couldn't even play the guitar, like I couldn't do anything, to now 60 press-ups in one hit, 10 pull-ups in one hit, lifting my baby up, just absolutely superb, sound perfect. So share that. Any questions, drop me a message. I'm happy to share a little bit more on the protocol. There's a couple of other bits in there as well that I did, but predominantly the castor oil, the bone knit, the red light, and the Tesla machine. I mean, you could argue that was the golden thing, or maybe it didn't do a lot. I don't know. It's hard to quantify, but the reality is my hand was fucked, and now, mate, I'm back in the game. It feels amazing. So anyway, so if anyone you know or you yourself have damaged a bone, fractured any bone, actually, not just a scaphoid, and you're struggling with how to fix it, DM me or send me an email, and I will do my best to share the information that I've received and I've utilised myself. As always, please like, share and subscribe if you can. It helps the channel. I've been quite distant, had a lot going on, and to be honest, I've really just been focusing on myself for quite a while. I like to share information on this channel, and you know, sometimes we've got to go and go back to school, do our homework, keep learning, keep growing, and then we can add more value. I don't like sharing things unless I think it can add some sort of value. So thanks for bearing with me while I haven't been posting. But I'm hoping to be back and start sharing things a little bit more. Sorted out a lot of different things, like I say, move house, had a baby, etc., etc. And now got a little bit more time to be more active on here. Follow me on TikTok as well, if you can. Jay from the Holocene. Going to be putting a lot of content on there as well. So thank you very much.